Hello, I'm Ben, founder of Ace Ortho Solutions. I want to give you a casting overview. Um, we're not going to go like really intricate, but I want to give you some pitfalls that we've seen that have happened. So this happens pretty easily for you. The first thing that I want you to see what we're doing, I've never sedated a dog for casting. I have had to muzzle dogs. A big part of the reason that I haven't had to is I have a team of 3 people that do this. So at the head of the dog, we put a person that isn't anxious. Anxiety, the dog can feel that, and so it keeps the dog calm. Back here we have a person that's more focused on helping me. Once I start unwrapping the casting tape, it starts setting up, so I need that extra set of hands when the cutting strip turns or something to take care of that while I'm wrapping casting tape, and then also holding the stockinette in position. And then I'm here. So we don't do the casting standing because the dog always tends to want to sit down, and besides that, we get a better position that we want for the actual cast, so we can see the landmarks if we do it sideline. So before you start your casting, I want to precurse this. Do not open this casting tape. As soon as air starts touching this casting tape, it starts setting up. So there's several steps that we need to get through, and making sure the dog is comfortable before you ever open this. So please don't. What we'll first do is we have the dog sideline, and we're going to put on the stockinette. What we need to do for this cast, for the Stifle, is we need a cast from the hock all the way up into the groin. So we don't need the paw included. Now hairier dogs, this is even tougher, so it's more important to get all the hair inside the stockinette. Now you can see the stockinette has a tendency not to want to go up all the way into the groin. So that's why it's very important that this person gets their fingers under here and pulls up on either side of the groin to make sure that stockinette goes all the way inside. So if you want to hold that up there while I do this part. When I put the cutting strip on the side, the cutting strip is what we'll cut down with the hook blade. It's a trough, so the hook blade won't slip off and cut the dog. Okay? Now we want it to go sideline. If we bring it along the front, we hide all the bony landmarks in the front, and so we don't have as good of a fit. There's all soft tissue along the side, so that's why we put the cutting strip on the side. You just have to cut a small hole, the top and the bottom, and the cutting strip will fit inside of it. Now generally, the stockinette will hold that cutting strip flat in place. Sometimes when she gets started, it'll start twisting over. You can see she kind of has her thumb holding it in place, so it won't twist there. She may have to let go once I start wrapping, just to help keep it in place initially until I get up to the top. Now, when we're looking at this cast, we need to take a cast from the apex of the hock, so I just come just below that, and that's where I'll start, and go up as high into the groin as we can, okay? A lot of times what we see is people will stop the cast right at the stifle. Well, to correct the stifle, you have to hold on above and below. So it's very important that we get up as high into the groin as we possibly can. So, you know, some dogs are more anxious, and at this point they're going to be looking back and they're going to be kicking back and forth. So right now it's very important that you kind of go and work through the range of motion of extending the leg completely, just getting the dog used to what you're doing in the hand positions, okay? I'm going to hold on to the leg here and extend the leg once I have the cast wrapped. So I'm practicing that right now, so the anxiety level is going down. Now, like I said before, Jetta's pretty laid back here. You know, she's still wagging her tail. You need to spend time. I mean, if it takes 5 minutes until this anxiety level kind of starts to calm down before you ever start casting. And there'll be a point, and you'll actually see them just kind of relax, okay? And that's the best time to say, okay, now we can start casting. Now is the time that you can actually open this, okay? Now, before I open this, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to massage this just for a few minutes, but basically you're just massaging it long enough to make sure that the water dampens the whole thing out, okay? And then you're going to come and you're going to start wrapping. Now when I wrap, I start right here, okay, at the apex of the hock. Now you can see that the leg is a cone, okay? So if you try to wrap straight across a cone, it's going to gap at the bottom and be tight at the top, wherever you wrap that. So what you want to do is you actually want to wrap this at an angle, about a 45-degree angle to the leg when you start your wrap. And then you're going to wrap all the way up. As soon as you get to the top, there's going to be kind of a twist, and you're going to twist it back the other direction, and you're going to crisscross it and wrap it down. Now that's all the layers that you need for this. You don't need 15 layers of cast like you would be wrapping for a broken leg. Now when you wrap this, it's also important that you wrap this very tightly, okay? If you don't wrap this tight, then I won't be able to see the bony landmarks. You won't have as good of an outcome. Now you can see there's still some gapping here with me wrapping it at an angle. So now I come over here and I'm going to kind of turn the angle. And that starts pushing down those gapping spots. Just a spot there. Make sure to keep it tight the whole time. And that uses that one roll. A little bit where it was creasing there, I'm massaging all that down. Now I'm pulling on the leg to keep it straight while it hardens. If you're uncomfortable with this at first, another set of hands is always helpful. I'm just waiting for it to harden now. So I've had practice wrapping it, so I wrapped it fairly quickly. So you can see that there is good working time with it if you wait. Okay, I'm feeling it starting to get hard. The best way to tell is if you start to pull this hook blade and it really is bending up, it's not hard enough for it to actually pull through there. So cut down the cutting strip. And cut the stockinette, pull your cutting strip out, she's not a very furry dog, but you can still see some fur got caught up in there. So sometimes you have to dislodge the fur from the stockinette before you actually pull that down. But it's very important to pull this stockinette out right now at this point because it will start to stick very tightly to the cast. And so you can see the inside of the cast is pretty smooth, and it really shows the bony landmarks. Not all dogs are this bony, but the more bony landmarks I can see, the better results you'll have. All right.
Enjoy the steak.